What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video here on B-Mills Wrestling. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys 4 legitimate candidates that I think could dethrone Seth Rollins for his World Heavyweight Championship. Before we get into the video, if you guys are not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any new uploads, and don't forget to leave a like down below. Alright guys, let's get into the video. The first person that I have on my list to dethrone Seth Rollins is CM Punk. I think CM Punk makes the most sense because he was the former champion before Rollins. Obviously, Seth Rollins ended CM Punk's title reign in just 5 minutes while cashing in at SummerSlam. So I think the best option they have is to give the title back to CM Punk because, yeah, he had his moment, but it only lasted 5 minutes. I want to see a long CM Punk title reign. I need to see that. And, if he doesn't get the title back, I am going to be a little disappointed. But I do have other guys on this list that I could see also being the ones to dethrone Seth. So I'm not really 100% sold that they are going to give the title back to CM Punk. But I would love this to happen. I think that CM Punk is going to stay in the Seth Rollins vortex for a while, maybe all the way up until WrestleMania. I don't want them to run this one-on-one at WrestleMania. We've already seen the match a lot. The feud, the storyline, it's been good. But I don't think that that's like a WrestleMania main event. Like, we've already seen it. So I don't know if this storyline continues all the way to WrestleMania or when it ends. But I hope that when it ends, CM Punk is the one to take that title back. Because like I said, I want to see a long CM Punk title reign. Right? I don't want that to be his only title reign that he's ever going to have, coming back to the WWE. So I really do hope that it is CM Punk to take the title off Rollins. And like I said, I think there's a good chance of this happening. The next person I have on here to dethrone Seth Rollins for his championship is probably the least likely to happen, and that is Roman Reigns. Now, I think that we will get Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins in a one-on-one main event match at WrestleMania, whether that's night 1 or night 2. I think that is 100% the direction they have to go in. That has to be one of the 2 main events at WrestleMania 42. I thought there was a good chance of it happening at 41. Obviously, CM Punk was involved, and that was a great storyline with a great match and a great ending. But now it is time to do that one-on-one match. And that cannot happen at any other PLE. That is a WrestleMania match. It should be the final match, closing their chapter with all the history they have. And the thing is with that, though, they don't need the title. Just because of all the history they have with each other, dating back to all these years ago, the title does not need to be on the line in this match. And the thing is also, I think Roman Reigns would have to win this match versus Seth Rollins. Because Seth Rollins has had his number for all these years. He's picked up win after win, stealing Paul Heyman, stuff like that. I think it just makes perfect sense and it is a storybook ending for Roman Reigns to finally, conquer Seth Rollins, the one guy who's always had his number throughout his career. Roman, in my opinion, has to win that match. But the problem is, I don't see Roman Reigns winning the World Heavyweight Championship for a couple reasons. The first being, I think he's not going to get another title reign in WWE. I think his 1,316-day title reign, that is his last title reign in WWE. He probably only has 2 to 3 years left, and I just don't think he needs to be in the title picture because he is so much bigger than the championship itself, right? He doesn't need to be booked in the championship scene, and he hasn't been since he lost the title, right? He's had great feuds with Solo Sikoa, obviously CM Punk and Seth Rollins leading into that match, right? He's had good feuds outside of the title. I want them to continue to do that with him and not have him booked in the title scene. But the other reason also is he, took a shot at this World Heavyweight Championship. If you guys remember the build-up to WrestleMania 40, when we had Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns obviously was going against Seth Rollins in that tag team match with The Rock and Cody Rhodes on night 1. And, in the not the pre-show, one of the shows leading up to WrestleMania 40, he did take a shot at that title, saying it was a consolation prize, it was a secondary title. So it wouldn't make any sense for him to go after that title, right? Because he basically shadowed it. I don't care that he's a babyface now when he was a heel then. No, he should not go after that title ever just because he said that. So I don't really see Roman Reigns being the one to dethrone Seth Rollins. I think, something that makes more sense is Seth Rollins defends the championship, maybe like Royal Rumble or sometime then. And maybe Roman Reigns gets taken out once again by Seth's faction and he's out for a number of months, goes and films Street Fighter, whatever, takes time off. Then he comes back and costs Seth Rollins the championship. That I would prefer 100% more. Because like I said, that match between Roman and Seth at WrestleMania absolutely does not need the title. So having Roman screw Rollins out of the title while giving it maybe back to CM Punk, I think that would be awesome. That way you have Roman and Seth at Mania, and then you have maybe a CM Punk defending that World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and boom, there's 2 great matches, possibly 2 main events as well. So yeah, like I said, I don't think that it's realistic to say Roman Reigns will dethrone Seth Rollins, but I could definitely see him being the one to screw Rollins out of that championship. The next person I have on my list is probably the guy that I do not want to see dethrone Seth Rollins for this championship, and that is Sami Zayn. But I think that it is, it has a great shot of happening because of all the, the recent, storytelling they've been doing with Sami. The same old underdog shit, I don't like it. I think he does need a character change. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think a loss to Karrion Kross at SummerSlam could have helped build that, but with him winning, there is just no way he ever, has a character change, at least, going into WrestleMania this year. I just don't see it happening. But like I said, I could see them totally making Sami the underdog going against Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins, took out Sami Zayn. Initially, that was their first target when Seth created the vision with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So I could see it being a full circle moment at WrestleMania, maybe, or before WrestleMania, and then you have Sami win as the whole underdog. Like I said, I just don't like that at all. I like Sami Zayn inside the ring, but man, he just needs a character change. I really don't want to see the same underdog story that we've been getting for the past, 5 years at this point. Not 5 years, but you get what I'm saying. It's been dragging for so long. I really just do not want to see this. But I think it's so realistic because, like I said, they've been, doing the storytelling of, Sami Zayn saying, oh, I've never won a world championship, but I'm going to win a world championship and I'm going to do it the right way. They don't do that for no reason. That's the thing here. I just hope that it's not, beating Seth Rollins. Maybe they could just wait a little while because I think that there's so many better options than Sami Zayn to win that title from Seth Rollins. But, the Rumble, it's in Saudi Arabia this year. I think Sami Zayn has to be a favorite to win because it is in Saudi. But I really don't want this, man. But I could so see it happening. But if they do Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn instead of Rollins versus Reigns at WrestleMania, that is going to suck. That is absolutely going to suck. Nobody is going to want to see, Sami versus Seth. That's not a WrestleMania main event whatsoever. Right? And it's going to be the same storyline as Gunther versus Jey Uso, which absolutely sucked. So no, I absolutely do not want this to happen. But like I said, I just think that it's super realistic because of what they've been doing with Sami Zayn recently. And, obviously I think he is bound to win a world championship eventually. But man, I just really do not want this. The last guy I have on this list to dethrone Seth Rollins is Braun Breaker. This is a sneaky one because I don't know the likelihood of this happening because obviously Braun Breaker is in Seth Rollins' faction division, and obviously that started only a couple months ago, right after WrestleMania. So, I don't know how long they want this faction to go, if they want it to go a year plus, if they want it to, stop before WrestleMania, which I think is unlikely. But Braun Breaker, he's a sneaky candidate to dethrone Roman Reigns. If they had, him turn, well, he already is a heel, but if they had, Braun and Heyman turn on Seth, because I do think Braun should be the next Paul Heyman guy. He already kind of is, but obviously it's mainly Seth Rollins. I think that Heyman should go with Braun when this group does split up. I don't think he should stay with Seth by any means. So a Braun heel turn with Paul Heyman on his side, and, they go after Seth and Braun wins the world title. That would be awesome. I would really like to see that. Like I said, though, I don't know how long they plan on having Rollins hold this championship. I think if it's CM Punk to dethrone him, I think it happens before WrestleMania. Like I said, probably around the Royal Rumble. If it's Roman Reigns, I think it'll happen at WrestleMania. And then if it's Sami Zayn, I could see it happening before, and I could see it happening at WrestleMania as well. But if it's Braun Breaker, I think it might happen after. Because, like I said, I don't think this faction is going to split up before WrestleMania. But this would just be awesome, right? To see Braun Breaker, maybe perhaps a babyface turn. I would prefer him to stay a heel and go with Paul Heyman to dethrone Seth Rollins. But there is that world where maybe he's a babyface. He has a huge babyface turn and really gets the audience on his side. And then he, goes after Seth Rollins and he beats Seth Rollins, beats the Ultimate Bad Guy on Monday Night Raw. I think that's a cool way to do it as well. But I just think it's so much better if you have Braun and Heyman double cross Seth Rollins. Because, like I said, Paul Heyman, he double crosses everybody, right? It's only a matter of time before he double crosses Seth Rollins. I don't even think Seth Rollins needs Paul Heyman whatsoever. And obviously, if you're asking me who, benefits from having Paul Heyman on their side more, Seth Rollins or Braun Breaker, it's obviously Braun Breaker because he's your young superstar that you're trying to build up and elevate to being a WrestleMania main eventer one day. Seth Rollins, he's already solidified his career. He doesn't even need Paul Heyman. I don't know how long they're going to have this stable go, but I think it would be a cool idea to have Braun Breaker turn on Seth Rollins, whether that's being a babyface or a heel, and dethroning him for the championship. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash the thumbs up down below. Don't forget to comment down below what future videos you guys would like to see from me. Also, comment down below who you guys think will dethrone Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Alright guys, peace.